5th time's a charm. Hey guys, hey, how you doing? Is you guys doing? Because it's like 7:55 and I've been making videos since 7 o'clock this morning, and I'm not doing. Oh no. Oh. So I know some of you got the chance to watch my video yesterday. I know a lot of you didn't. I'm sorry about that. Right now it's on private. I do not know if I will take it off private any damn time soon. I'm just that angry. Let me put this before anything else in this video. I will not be censored. I will not censor myself. I will not censor myself for anyone else. I do not censor myself for views. I'd rather have 5 views on my video than have 10,000 views on my video of people who don't appreciate what I have to talk about. And that's the honest damn truth. That's why I don't hold all these giveaways and, you know, here's makeup and, you know, here's blah, 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 giveaway to make 9 million more. I don't. Because the people that I want on here are the people who make up my community of, you know, friends and people that I truly care about. I don't need the masses, you know. It's not money for me. This is legitimately just me coming on here trying to help others like myself, because a lot of the times you guys help me more often than I believe I'm probably helping y'all. So the video I made yesterday was, and I was, you know, I've tried making this video like 5 times now. So the video I made yesterday was talking about my experience in the ER, and I'm gonna go through it really quickly in not a sarcastic way, because this way nothing that I say can be misconstrued. Okay. I went in on I think I was in there Friday. So yeah, I went in there, no, Thursday night, excuse me. So I went in there on Friday. Shit, Nirvana, come on. I went in there on Thursday, and my husband forced me to go to the ER because I was unable to get in and out of the truck. My stomach had been hurting for a couple days, and it was just getting worse. So I go into the ER in horrific pain. Now, this ER specifically, I don't know, you know, how it works in everybody else's ER, but here, this is kind of a teaching hospital sometimes. And in the ER, they typically try to get, you know, people to do the IVs and stuff who need more practice, okay? So, of course, you know, I get somebody who hasn't done a whole lot of them, and, you know, her hand's shaking the whole time, and I'm, like, freaking out because I do have good veins. I have good veins here. Only I have 2, you know, obviously I have more veins than 2. But I have 2 really good poppy veins specifically right there. And that's not the place I'd like to have an IV. It's just the most convenient place, and the less times they're going to stick me trying to get a vein. You see what I'm saying? Because when I'm stressed out or when I'm hurt, my veins kind of pull in on each other. And it's harder to get, you know, any of the other, you know, places. And I just get it. It sucks because, you know, you can't really move your arm while you have it, but whatever. So, you know, she stuck me and couldn't find it, so she started doing that fishing thing, you know, where they pull it out a little bit and start fishing for your damn vein. Ugh, that hurts so bad. But, you know, I let her do it. But it started to bleed. You know what I'm saying? It didn't just start to bleed out of the top. It started to bleed out of the hole and all over my arm. Like, I had blood, like, all through here, down through here. I mean, it was creeping into my stuff. I had a big puddle on the thing, and they were all like, eh. And, you know, she finally got it screwed on, and, you know, just trying to clean me off and stuff. And I was like, sweet Jesus, Mother of Mary. So that was hard for me because it scared me. But I was also in a ridiculous amount of pain. So I had 2 really good doctors. I was there for 7 hours. Okay, so that's the first thing I need to say. I was there for 7 hours, and I know some of you right now are like, you don't need to explain anything to us. I really do, because I like to be me, and I like to tell you guys things that I view are important, and I like to get the feedback as well. So I'm not going to really use any humor in this one like I did in the last one, because obviously people can't take it, you know, take my kind of sarcasm, or just don't get me or whatever. But so I had 2 really good doctors in those 7 hours, and then they finally came in after my CAT scan and everything, and the intervaginal like ultrasound, which was excruciating. And the entire time I was there, they kept giving me Dilaudid, because I can't take morphine. Morphine gives me rashes and stuff, so I can only take Dilaudid. And Roxicodone, which is the liquid hydrocodone, pretty much. So for 7 hours, I'd had, I don't know how many milligrams of Dilaudid, and then they gave me the Roxy, which finally was starting to get my pain down from an 8. Now, I've told you guys before, I'm very realistic when it comes to pain. So 10, I'm being mauled by a bear. 8, you know, I'm being chased by the bear, and you know, I fell and pretty much broke my uterus. So I mean, it's pretty rough for me to say an 8. Normally, I never say more than like a 6 before I'll go into the emergency room. So, you know, I had been hemorrhaging for a few days, and I started feeling worse each and every day that it was going on. We thought we were going to have to do surgery on me, so that scared me more. My husband had to go home. My mother-in-law came to sit with me. We were all very scared what was going on, and then I was going to be admitted. So once they said that I was admitted, this is where things got wonky for me. So once they said I was going to be admitted, I had an OBGYN come in, and she just kind of popped herself into the room. Didn't really explain to me who she was, or, you know, why I'm talking to her when I just talked to the regular doctor who said I was going to go upstairs. But it was the way she talked to me, and it was the questions that she asked me that made me feel very uncomfortable. So we'll start with psychiatric records are off limits, okay, due to the HIPAA Privacy Act. Unless I give them specific, you know, permission to view. Matter of fact, my psychiatric records are not on file for them, because I go see a civilian off base. So they can't even get into those to find out what is going on. Now, having that said, I don't have a psychiatrist at the moment because I'm still trying to find one. So who prescribes my Wellbutrin and my Ativan is my PCM, okay? And I have a letter from my doctor, from my psychologist, psychiatrist and psychologist, 2 different things, from my therapist, will say that, on why he thinks that these are good for me, and, you know, why, because I have a new PCM, and I want it, I know this is going to be everywhere because I'm crossing wires here in the brain meats, so I hope you guys are following with me. So the point I was trying to make is that I had a new PCM, so I had to bring her a piece of paper stating, you know, this is why I've been put on Wellbutrin. This is why I've been on Ativan for so long. This is why, you know, I'm working to have a service animal, service animal as in emotional support animal. I will talk about that later. Those are really different things. I shouldn't have said service animal. I should have, but you guys. Okay. So in my records, if she was to go down in there, she would see exactly the reasons I'm put on Wellbutrin. Why am I put on Ativan? Now, people yesterday were telling me that they wanted to see if there were any interactions. Okay, so they would know better than I would know if there was going to be an interaction with something that they were going to prescribe me with those 2 medicines. They wouldn't even have to ask me. They wouldn't even need to ask me why I'm taking those if it was a drug interaction. Okay, so some people gave me some really good information, and some people were just... So, this damn phone, please, Lord, help me. Help me with this phone. So, what was I saying? drug interactions. So she wouldn't need to come in there and start asking me weird and random questions that I've never been asked before. So the way she talked to me is this. No sarcasm. This is the way it happened. Just so we are completely clear this time. So she leans herself up against the door and crosses her feet and then starts asking me questions like, I see you're on Wellbutrin. Why? It's in my file, specifically the reasons why. Because I have depression. Now, it's midnight, so it's not like they're going to be giving me any Wellbutrin, okay? Because I take that twice a day. And again, no reason for them to give it to me right now, because it is something that I take usually right about now, which is about 8 o'clock in the morning, and her shift would be done, so she wouldn't be prescribing it for me anyway. And then she started asking me about, you know, my Ativan. She was like, and then I see you're on Ativan. And I'm like, why? And then I said, because I have, you know, anxiety. And why do you have anxiety? And that's when it started to get really weird, you know. And I couldn't, it was so exhausted and so tired, and I've had so much medicine, I couldn't really, like, think. I couldn't really, like, give her, you know, whatever answer she was looking for specifically, I guess. And I just said, you know, because I do. You know, I didn't really know exactly what I was going to say. And then she started talking about, you know, so, were you molested as a child? And, like, me and my mother-in-law are like, what? And I specifically said, I'm not really comfortable talking about that. Well, it says you have PTSD. Why? I'm not really comfortable talking with that with you. It says here that you have panic attacks. Why? Again, you know, I'm very confused at this point because I've never been asked these questions ever. My therapist deals with all that, so I don't owe her an explanation. If there is an interaction with my drugs, she would know better than I. So she doesn't need to know the specific reasons why I have PTSD, why I have anxiety, why I have panic attacks, why I'm agoraphobic. Because I am. The issue I made out of it was that she was asking me very specific questions that made no damn sense to me. Being molested when I was a child has absolutely nothing to do with why I have a hemorrhaging cyst. And frankly, none of that was her business. And I didn't owe her an explanation for why I have PTSD or why I have agoraphobia or why this and that. The only explanation that I needed to give her was what I was there for, which was it took me 3 days to come in because I hate ERs for this specific reason. I don't like being cornered. I don't like feeling like I'm out of control. I would rather stay home and hemorrhage there if I had the choice. You know, I was trying to see my PCM, but they couldn't get me in, you know, before that. I was trying to see my surgeon. They couldn't get me in for an acute appointment for that. So it's not like I wasn't trying to go see somebody else. I literally just couldn't get an appointment anywhere else. And it had gotten so bad that I had to go to the ER. So that is the issue I had with her, was her demeanor towards me and the weird questioning of my mental status, which, again, none of her business. And neither one of the two emergency doctors were even remotely worried about anything besides the fact that, you know, I may need surgery. But then she asked me, which bothered me even more, she didn't ask me if I had a DNR. Okay, let's make that very, very clear. She did not ask me if I had an advance directive. That is normally what they ask you before surgery. That is normally, do you have a religious preference? They didn't, this damn phone. Do you have a religious, Mother Pearl, do you have a religious preference and I, that would da-da-da-da-da, and I said no. That is what they normally ask me. That is not what she asked me or the way she asked me. I don't know if she was extremely tired that day. I don't know, if, she'd been up all day or she'd just woken up out of the on-call room or whatever it was. But I took her the way she came at me, and it was really uncomfortable and very upsetting to me. So, she was like, so if your heart stops, do you want us to do anything about that? It wasn't, do you have an advance directive? Do you have a DNR? And I just looked at her like, huh? And of course I do. And even my mother-in-law was like, yeah, she definitely does. I'm 38 years old, so I don't want to die, thank you. And then she, asked me, who was going to be here with me and stuff like that. So, and then, I got wheeled upstairs. So there was quite a few things that bothered me, quite a few things that I didn't feel was right with that situation. And I am always going to be me in these videos, and I always tell everything with an air of humor, because that's who I am. I give you guys my experiences the way I see them, and my throat's hurting right now because I've been talking for a damn hour and 20 minutes now trying to make a video, and each time I've had to whatever. So I'm not going to censor myself. No. I felt really uncomfortable with some of the responses I got yesterday from that video. I was not disrespectful to her at all. Actually, the Southern in me almost keeps me impossible of being rude to somebody. I'm always yes ma'am, no ma'am, thank you ma'am, yes sir, no sir, I appreciate that, thank you so much. And I must have said thank you 50,000 freaking times while I was in there for overnight. Anytime they came in to take my vitals, thank you very much. Anytime they gave me medicine, thank you very much. That is the Southern in me. I legitimately just can't help it. So there was no rude to be had, honey. Sorry. No. Now my face, I can't control what my face looks like. Like, I wear everything right on the front. So if I'm confused, my face looks confused. If I'm angry, it starts creeping up my face. I can't help that. It's not like I have, a switch where I can turn myself off, it's all here. So whatever my face looked like is what my face looked like. And it probably looked freaking confused because I didn't understand what the hell she was asking me stuff like that for. I have never been treated like that. It almost made me feel like, what I was going through with the other two doctors that I'd been seeing for hours. Coming in there and explaining everything and being real nice, and then having somebody like her come in and making me feel terrible and making me not want to come to the ER when I have issues was the biggest thing for me. Is that, I legitimately could have died, had I stayed home. And to have somebody make me so uncomfortable that I don't want to come back, that's the biggest issue. And that's what I was mostly asking about yesterday. Had anybody else really had, this feeling or anything? Does anybody know why she asked these specific questions? And, a lot of the comments, super helpful. Super duper amazingly helpful, made me understand some of the things, but some of them were ridiculous to the point it made me so mad I just took it down. So I've yammered for 20 minutes. I hope this answers some of your questions. I absolutely love your beautiful, gorgeous and I will talk to you hopefully when I'm not so pissy. Bye.